Potomac Beads. Join me in creating this Greta bracelet. This is a great, easy style to convert into necklace, earrings, or use for your bracelet. There's a ton of different materials that can be used, so go ahead and check out the links below to shop with us at PotomacBeads.com. Don't forget during the video too, if you switch up the design and you try it with different beads, make sure to give your feedback in the comments below. Gather up all your materials and let's get started. So to begin, the Greta bracelet is based on a really simple stringing design idea. So Anna and I were talking, we had the materials and came up with this design. Using a Czech Rondelle, we're then going to use some 11 OC beads as well as 3mm beads to get to a center crystal and then downgrade. It is a bracelet that, like I said, is basic stringing. You're going the whole way through, and then we're going to come the whole way back, and then we're going to go the whole way through and come the whole way back. We are using 3mm Czech rounds as well as 4mm round crystals, and then also the 11 OC beads in between the crystal Czech rondelles. Now keep in mind, you can use anything for this. Very easy to switch out any of the beads. The only thing that you need to keep in mind is that you need a bead that can fit 6 strands of our 0.006 wildfire on it. To begin, I have that on 5 feet on a size 10 needle, and I'm adding to begin one of my Czech faceted rondelles in the crystal Picasso, followed by the dark bronze 11 OC bead, followed by 2 of my 3mm beads, and then we're going to separate it out a crystal with 11 O's, 2 more of our 3mm beads, then 1 more 11O. After that 11O, we pick up 1 more of our rondelles, and that is our pattern. I'm going to repeat this pattern a total of 7 times in order to get, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 times. I'm going to end with one of my Czech rondelles. After 7 times, I'm going to show you how to add our wire guard and our clasp as we come back the other way to do our next strand. When you get to the end of your first row, it's going to seem a little big. Now, honestly, for me, 7 is big. I would go with 6 for my size wrist, but 7 is going to be about your standard. It's going to seem a little bit larger than you need it to be because it will shrink up a tiny bit as you pull tight and those strands kind of puff up. After my last rondelle, I'm adding 1 of my 11 OC beads, and then I'm going to add my wire guard. I'm going up through the wire guard, down through the other side of the wire guard. Once you go down through the other side of the wire guard, go ahead and add your magnetic ball clasp, or whatever clasp you choose. Toggle, pretty clasp, guarding clasp. And then add 1 more 11 OC bead. After doing so, you're going to go back through that crystal rondelle and out. Give it a nice tight pull. And now we're on repeat. So our crystal rondelles are already in there as far as our Czech glass. And I'm just going to continue my pattern of my 3mm on the side of my crystal with my seed beads, kind of separating them out. Push those up toward your clasp, and then down through the next rondelle. Not through any of the seed beads, just through the rondelle. And that's my first one. What you're going to start to see is kind of competing space for these interior strands. That's what's going to make this bubbled look, where it looks like it's kind of ballooning out. And we're thinking, you know, this is 1920s, 30s glam, kind of Greta Garbo. So that's how this got its name. I'm going in then and continuing on with my pattern. I'll show 1 more. Adding in my 2 3s with an 11 after. And once again, down to the next rondelle and string through. Such a nice, simple, easy design. Again, it can be used for a necklace, bracelet. You can use this for a necklace just with 2, but I'm going to keep going. When I get to the end, I'll show you how we're going to add the wire guard on the other end, and then we'll continue up and down until we have 6 of our little fluffy sections. Once you get to the end of the design and you've done your doubling up so far of the beads, what I'm going to do is add my wire guard on this side. So I'm going in here adding an 11/0 seed bead, just like I did the other side. My wire guard, I'm going to ignore that stop bead that's there. Come down the other side of my wire guard. Once again, put on the other side of my magnet, or whatever clasp you're choosing. Once that's in there, grab one more of my 11/0s, come back down through the rondelle, and get ready for row number 3. So again, the exact same thing, super easy, going in with your same exact pattern. Now, if you want to do a different pattern or a kind of changing up, that maybe you move the crystal from the bottom towards the top in a graduation, so that way it looks like it is on that diagonal. Make sure to give any feedback below the video, so that way it helps out the beading community and people watching this video, so they learn from others as well. So if you change up the design, you use different beads. Again, the main thing to make sure of is that you're ending with a small bead, and that way it is not going to overcrowd before your rondelle, and that whatever bead you're putting in here that all the strands are going through is going to be large enough to accommodate 6 strands of your thread. You can also do these sections of your smaller beads and your crystals with less beads or with more beads, so you can make them longer or shorter depending on what look you're going for. So again, here's my 3rd strand started. And you can see when I give a pull at the end of each one now, that space above the rondelle is competing, and that's what's creating that puffy look around the bracelet. When you get to the end now of one of your rows, so I just went in and put my 3rd strand of beads in there, and I'm going to give a nice tight pull after. I've gone through my 11/0 seed bead after the rondelle, as well as through the first side of my wire guard. I'm going through the wire guard, through my clasp, back down through the wire guard, as well as the 11/0 seed bead, and then through my rondelle and out. When I come out after my rondelle, I want to make sure that I'm not going through any seed beads. And once again, going to make sure my thread stays in my wire guard, give a nice tight pull, and then back to it, creating my 4th strand. Once you're to the point that you're adding your last strand, I'm going to come through the rondelle here, and this is 6 total. That's about the max really that I can get through near my rondelle without having to double up some of the 11/0 seed beads. Coming out that last rondelle, then I'm going to pull the stop bead that was on my piece back. I'm going to take my thread and needle, my thread and needle side and the starter side, and simply tie a knot together. So it's nice and simple. That knot will kind of go into that last rondelle. And then grab your thread burners and simply burn off that extra thread, then burning it flush towards the project. Such a simple and easy design. Looks great again for a necklace. I can't wait to see it in lots of different colors as well, as you guys take this design idea and run with it. Thanks so much for joining me in this Greta bracelet. I also wanted to show you that you can combine 2 bracelets very easily to get a necklace, just with the magnetic on either side. It looks great as a necklace, looks great as a bracelet, and is awesome for an idea for fringe earrings as well. Remember, if you do need any supplies, you can check the links below to shop with us online at PotomacBeads.com, as well as PotomacBeads.eu. With so many different styles and so many different variations that can be made on this design, make sure to give your feedback below and include some of those design ideas to help out this awesome beading community. As always, if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss anything from us here at Potomac Beads. I can't wait to see your designs and your creations in our Facebook group for beading and jewelry making. As always, thanks so much for joining me, and enjoy your new Greta bracelet, or multiples as a necklace and earring design.